y'all. Thank you for tuning in to the Voices of Change podcast with coaches Monique E. and Coach Danielle. Stay tuned for today's episode. Welcome back to episode 5 of our podcast. We are excited to be here today. And we had a special surprise for you. Yes. Our very first guest on the podcast. Woohoo!
Yes.
Yay! I'm excited because we have a lot of questions for her. And I'm going to have Coach Monique go ahead and introduce our guest on today.
Yes. Hey, welcome, fam. Today's episode will truly be life-changing, and I am super excited. Just as Coach D said, we have our special guest, my good friend, Ouida Brown. She is a lifestyle fitness, nutrition coach, and a Reiki master. Welcome, Ouida.
How are you today? Thank you. I am wonderful. How's everybody out there?
Awesome.
Good,
we are great.
Good. Thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yes. So, fam, Ouida and I met a couple years ago during COVID. I was sitting at home eating like nobody's business, and I realized that I needed to shed those pounds that I had added on. So I reached out to a mutual friend of ours. Shout out to Tori. Hey, love you. So I reached out to Tori, and she connected Ouida and I, and we've been hitting it off ever since. So with that being said, I want you to introduce yourself to our listeners.
Okay. First of all, I'm so glad to be here and so glad to stay connected to Monique and Coach Danielle. So thank you so much for having me. I'm Ouida Brown-Lyons. I got to claim that Lyons because my husband would kill me. It's hyphenated. So it's Ouida Brown-Lyons. And I am the owner and lifestyle fitness coach, nutrition coach, and Reiki master. My company name is New Body. And New Body had its own evolution. But New Body represents nutrition, exercise, and wellness. Wow. And it's for women. My business is women only. Mm-hmm. And I focus on all women of all ages, shapes, and backgrounds to help them to live a healthier, happier life.
Nice.
So, Monique, it's when we met, we talked a lot about, what women go through. And so my whole thing was I wanted to establish a company, which started in 2008, with the desire to make programs available to women to address our specific needs. Because as we all know, that medicine and all of the things that we have out there that do help are not always tested for women, tested by women, for women. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to come bring something to the market that is somewhat unique. Some people do what I do, but what makes what I do special is the community, the connection of other women, because I put on my Reiki master hat, energy. And energy is everything because it connects us and it's in our body. Our bodies emit it. So I developed my company around that. And within it, like within the belly of the company, what I like to focus on are 5 important health principles: exercise, nutrition, sleep, hydration, and meditation.
Yes.
So, and the meditation part is really for the stress management. So, with my clients, what I do and what I offer to women is the opportunity to explore who they truly are through their own health. And we'll probably circle around here with both coaches because I know you guys have some questions for me that are very relevant.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's get to it.
Yes. But as the holistic approach to women, how we can better serve ourselves and our community through our health, right? Because we're all going through all these changes that are environmental and that are spiritual and that affect us in a lot of different ways. And so what I do is I offer programs that encompass all 5 of those important health principles, because I feel like we need a holistic approach, right? Like,
Right.
you know, if your gut is not healthy, let's use that as an example. If your gut is not healthy, that affects every part of your health and body, because our gut speaks directly to our brain, and it also affects our immune system. And so these are things that are very instrumental into aging properly and feeling good, period.
Yeah, agree.
So with that being said, some of the things that I do with my programs is I offer a program with retreats where I get a community of women together. I usually try to keep the group not too large. The max is 12, but I pick a location that's beautiful, serene, and women get together that are like-minded to do fitness activities. We go on a nature hike, we do a little forest bathing, we meditate, we have a women's circle, because every woman that I come in contact with can impart some wisdom to another. It doesn't matter who it is, right? So our wisdom circles to kind of gather like we used to, with like ancestrally, you know, to sit and to talk and talk about things, Coach Danielle, like menopause and perimenopause.
Absolutely. That's needed. That is needed. I feel like, you know, and we talk about this all the time, our experiences are not just for us. It's to share with other people, right? So that they can get through whatever it is they need to get through. And here on the, you know, the podcast is that we believe in balance, right? Establishing and living and becoming whole, right? And that's a balance of mind, body, and spirit. And so we have to be in tune with ourselves so that we know when any one of those things are off, we can catch it and we can work towards rebuilding and connecting with ourselves and everything. And so I think it's very, very important to meditate, right? And so I prescribe that to my clients, you know, therapy clients as well, coaching clients as well. And can you just tell us the importance of meditation? Because I feel like we're always on the go, right? And we need to reconnect with ourselves. So what do you think the importance is of meditation?
Sure. Stillness is something that quiets not only our thoughts and gives our bodies a place to really become grounded. It also gives us the opportunity to breathe. So often the noises and everything else that we have going on, we don't have that time in quietness or in stillness to actually breathe. And so that's one of the important things that I put out there all the time, because within the breath, there's spirit. Every time we take a breath.
That's good.
That's real
and
good.
We're feeding not only the physical body, the lungs, we're also feeding the spirit. And so when you sit in meditation, the benefit of it is that all of those crazy thoughts that are running through your mind, you're able to find space between each one of them. Because when those thoughts are running anyway, you're not able to do that in that type of format. And eventually with practice, just like lifting weights or eating healthy, it becomes a habit. It becomes a habit to sit in the stillness, and the thoughts then start to fade away. You start to then gain control of your mind-body connection. And there's many forms of meditation. With menopause and perimenopause, and for women, I think transcendental is nice because we love affirmations. We like to affirm who we are, like the mantra, I am, Om. It feels good to say and to claim that you are loved and that you are whole. And so I tend to say use the transcendental, right? Repeat these after the affirmation that within the belief system, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the advantages of meditation.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Aunt Weeda, and fam, I have to call her Aunt Weeda because we just bonded. Aunt Weeda, what is actually a Reiki master? If you can explain to us.
When they say Reiki master, it's the mastery of the energy of Reiki. And Reiki was given that name by Grandmaster Yusui. And Reiki is universal energy. So in other cultures, they say ki, chi. You have what's your chi, that's your energy.
Mm-hmm.
And Rei is the universal part of it. So you have your universal energy. Everything is energy, so our bodies are energy. And so with Reiki, it's so ancient that you can even take it past beyond before, it became Reiki. Some people know it as laying of hands. And so we have energy centers that are in our body that are called chakras. And those chakras are like an imaginary wheel, and they create energy. And they go down, the main ones go down your spine. There's 7 of them. And so with Reiki's energy is the universal energy is around us, and it is your chi that's within you. And so if you've ever taken your hands and rubbed them together and then you just kind of hold them, just a little bit of space, you hold them there, you'll feel some heat. You'll feel energy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's your energy, okay? And so it's like Tai Chi, you're holding the energy around you and within you. And so that energy is what is used in Reiki. There are 3 levels in becoming a Reiki master. The first level, you learn more about the autonomy and how Reiki works and the history of it, and how it came about. The second, you start to learn these symbols. It's Japanese oriented. You start to learn the symbols, and then you get the mastery, which is the 3rd level. And so it's really practicing with yourself and your own energy for healing, because there are many studies that have been shown that people who were in more of a relaxed state, who had critical or chronic illness, they were able to heal at a faster and better rate than those whose energy was stagnant and they were worried and they were tight and low energy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Mm-hmm. And so the whole goal is for everyone to be able to give themselves Reiki.
Right. So it's Reiki. And not, what did I say? Reiki?
Yes.
So it's Reiki.
Yeah, Reiki has long hair.
Family.
Yeah.
Okay, so overall, I mean, I know that you know your stuff. So if Danielle or our listeners wanted to get in contact with you, can you provide them that information?
Sure. You can get in contact with me. My website is Body by Ouida, and Ouida is spelled OUIDA.com. So that's at www.bodybywida.com, or on IG, Body by Ouida, at Body by Ouida. And I want to, you know what? I'm extending an invitation to my retreats. I have an upcoming retreat. Well, actually the May 20th one just sold out, but it was a wine tour wellness. I'm doing one in July at Hotel Avalon. It's a boutique hotel. It's got 10 spots there for women to come out and enjoy exercise, chef-inspired food. We're going to meditate around the pool early in the morning, do yoga lattes. We're going to go on a nice circuit with weight training. So it's going to be a lot of fun games. So going to have fun.
Now, where is that? Where is that exactly?
That is actually in Alpharetta, Hotel Avalon. So that whole space has retail shopping. It has tons of restaurants, and so it's going to be a nice space for all of us to get together and break bread, have some fitness fun, and meditate. So
Now
Nice.
that's for all you ladies who want to connect. Your
Mm-hmm.
synergy, your energy, your power,
Yes.
Yeah.
all of that good stuff.
And laugh
All
and
of
have a
that
good
good.
time.
Yes,
Exactly.
that's important. That's important. So, I saw something very interesting on your Instagram page, and I was like, whoa, yes. And you had something up there that stated menopause meal plans, right? So, let's talk a little bit about menopause because for me, those that know me know I have been menopausal since the age of 28. I had a
Oh,
hysterectomy. um the doctor wanted to give me estrogen and all that other stuff, and I was like, it's a no for me. And so he said, okay, well, you're gonna want to jump out of a window when those hot flashes hit. I said, well, until until that happens, it's a no for me. So I have not taken any hormones, nothing. So I have been fighting this battle for a long time, right? I have
mm,
I've been into fitness all of my life, and I've been able to maintain up until 2 years ago.
Mm.
Round about COVID time, and had a knee injury, couldn't work out. And the weight just started to come like out of nowhere. I can look at
right.
food and 10 pounds probably.
Right.
Seriously. And all the doctors kept saying it's an imbalance, your hormones, and you don't have any estrogen. And I'm like, well, what do I do? Because I'm not taking that stuff. I'm not doing
Right.
it. So what can you tell us, or how can you help us
Please help us.
get through and fight this battle? Because it is a serious battle.
It is.
Serious.
It is. It is a serious battle. Well,
Mhm.
let me just say, in the spirit of perimenopause and menopause, is that our bodies are significantly a center of valuable information. And, women are living longer than we lived before. We have different environmental toxins, different stresses, and that affects our hormones, okay, along with eating, exercising. When you are starting to experience symptoms, you start to make a diary of what those symptoms are. When do they occur? The second thing that I tell my clients to do is, once you start to see what the patterns are, then you've got to look at a couple of things. You got to look at your nutrition. So caffeine, for example, processed foods, gluten-filled foods, high sugar foods, fried foods, a lot of foods.
Oh, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Most folks like fried chicken and fried fish.
Those whitings,
yes,
come on.
yes, I know,
Yeah.
I know. But these are the things that, when your food is heated at a higher degree of heat, it becomes a carcinogen.
Oh, wow.
So the way that your body has to process it over a period of time, I have many clients that say, hey, I used to be able to eat whatever I wanted to eat. Or I would not eat bad, but every now and then, I would have this or that, and I'm still exercising. But over a period of time, your body starts to break down from it, because we're only human.
Right.
And so over a period of time, so when you start to have these symptoms with perimenopause and menopause, it's only an indication of what your body is lacking. And to figure out, it's unique for everyone. Now there are the protocols, like I said, I always, and Monique knows this, is that I always prescribe first thing, and part of the menopause diet plan is to eliminate certain foods. It contains an elimination. And in eliminating these foods, your body, first of all, your organs get a break. The main thing with hormones is that you feed your hormones, your macro and your micronutrients. So we get really, really fundamentally technical on what is the profile of just the baseline of what vitamins you're supposed to have and what micronutrients, because really the micronutrients have a lot to do with aging, with anti-aging. We're talking selenium, We're talking iron, we're talking magnesium, we're talking calcium. So, and that's only just a few of what we're discussing, but that would affect the hormones. Then you have lifestyle. Are you getting regular sleep? Are you having breaks in your sleep? Are you hydrated? Because that's a really, really big thing. I tell people now, I haven't always done this, but I really, really try to push the electrolytes, because we can stay in a dehydrated state, and that would also affect, having hot flashes, feeling lethargic, having foggy brain. And some of the foods that are really good is greens.
Mm-hmm.
The more
now, when you say greens, when you say greens, are you speaking of like spinach, kale,
collards? Yes.
Okay.
Getting those in on the regular basis is really important. Staying away from those foods that are really hard for your body to process, especially after 7-8 o'clock in the evening. And skipping meals. Skipping meals is where you start to store fat. And when we store fat, and then your body weight is more than what your natural body weight is, then your body has to work overtime, and that can precipitate other symptoms along with it. And, there are supplements out there that can help. There are very basic plans that I work with people, just very basic. You cut out the things that don't work. You start to add back some, like I tell people, cut out caffeine. Okay, that may be the culprit of you're not sleeping.
Deliver me. I just need a half a cup in the morning. Just this is going to be serious
do
now.
That, Ouida, when we cut out the caffeine, what benefits are we providing for ourselves?
Sure. The benefit is that your cortisol levels start to level. Energy, where the most important part of important food for energy are carbohydrates. And so people get really confused with carbohydrates, because they go, well, I thought a carb was only pasta or rice or potato, but it's not. You have your complex, you have your simple carbs. Your greens are carbs. And so when you are trying to lose weight and you're getting your energy needs to be coming from a good source. Caffeine is not completely horrible, but as I said, it typically, most women it affects. If you're because you just don't have the same energy, depending on how much coffee you drink too. If you're drinking a half a cup of coffee, but it can still create a hot flash. And that's because your heart rate is raised.
Yes.
You see, it's caffeine. And so that's what it does. And that's what carbohydrates do too. So if you're having a really good start to your day, with something that gives you warmth and gives you energy, I tell people do cinnamon tea. It almost has the same feel and warmth on your palate like coffee. Now, how to make it is kind of tricky in the sense that you do have to use a lot of the sticks. So I tell people put 4 sticks in very hot water and allow it to steep for at least 10 minutes. It gets that full aroma of the cinnamon. And then it's just it's very warming, and cinnamon has so many health benefits. It's good for your blood sugar, insulin levels. It's everything with cinnamon, and it smells good.
It does.
It does.
So
now I have a question, because of course we did our session. I lost 18 pounds. I was just over the rainbow, and it didn't come back. I have to say congratulations to that. So, but the thing I am running into is I'm trying to lose the other 15 and haven't been able to. I'm at a plateau.
Right.
So,
Right. Sure.
and ladies, fam, listeners, this is a freebie. So trust me, she knows her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, all the information that she's provided to contact her, please use it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you get the other 15 pounds off? You're walking, you're doing your water intake. You've changed your eating habits, but the weight still doesn't shift.
That plateau.
Okay. Sure. So I would, and know, and this is also, I'm probably doing this by knowing you, but the first thing that I would ask is, if you're doing the same thing, it means you need to change it up.
Mm-hmm.
So we do plateau because, things become stagnant. I always tell people, got to bump the goals up.
Right.
We bump the goals up with our self-care. We bump the goals up with our work. We bump the goals up with, our friend and our social involvement.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to bump up the goals. And I would start with the exercise.
Okay.
Because if you have the mastery of eating, okay, and there are, if you're talking weight loss, okay, not weight management, you would then also look at the nutrition to marry it with the exercise.
Okay.
Bumping up the goals of the exercise means if you are exercising 20 minutes or 30 minutes, maybe now you go to 45. If you're only doing your walk twice a week, you might want to bump that up to 4 days a week.
Okay.
And a longer walk. Okay. One of the things you want to remember, I call it FID. F as in frequency, I is in intensity, and D is in duration. The frequency of anything that you do, the intensity of the exercise, and then the duration.
Okay.
And when you're writing your program as far as your workouts, what you want to do is you want to have those categories to say, what's my frequency? How many times am I going to do it? Mm-hmm. How intense am I going to be? I may have Monday may be my intense day. I'm going to hit it. I'm going to get it. Then Tuesday I'm walking, and it's really about my endurance.
Okay.
Okay. And then just the duration, how long you're doing it. If you're exercising only for 10 minutes, you probably know you're going to take you a long time to get to where you want to be. So
right.
You might want to bump up that goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So again,
one last thing, Coach Mo. Just
Mm-hmm.
one last thing. I know she talked about the C word. My last one is the S word, and that's the sugar intake.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think there's things that we don't realize that has a high sugar intake and stuff like that. So talk a little bit about the sugar, and then we'll try to wrap up, because I know
yeah, sugar is it's like it's a crack. It
is.
It really is. Sugar is it's a very difficult thing with sugar, because if you can get off of sugar and really try to hone in on the natural sugars and stay away from the refined sugars, and create homemade baked goods, you're going to do yourself such a big favor.
Mm-hmm.
Sugar pulls you in.
Mm-hmm.
It just really does, and it's in everything. It's when you start to look at packaged goods, it's all there to help in preservatives for shelf life. It just kind of shows you what sugar does internally in your body, right? It's also with the brain. It creates this feeling of almost like a high. You know how they tell kids, don't give that kid any sugar, is bouncing off the wall. Well, it's not only the energy, it's just that it gives you that. And so it makes you want more and more and more of it. Mm-hmm. And so, what some of the suggestions in getting off of sugar that I tell people is to find something else for your palate that you like. And it really depends on, it has to be something that will satisfy sweet, and look at the time of day. I know for my husband, he likes to have something sweet after he eats dinner.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He just automatically, that's just something that and so I said, hey, why don't we start doing fruit parfaits? Mm-hmm. So that's a little bit of, you can get whatever type of Greek yogurt, and then you put berries, and then you put more Greek yogurt, and you put berries, and then you top it with
walnuts.
and so that gives you something that is sweet, you know. And so you have to try different things, because getting off of sugar is not easy. If you're a person who, and I'm speaking from experience, I love brownies. I do not bring them in the house. I go out if I'm going to have it, and I let that be. And when I feel like I want to go have something, I don't say, no, I'm not going to do it. But what I do say to myself is that I make myself the promise that the next day I won't do it again.
Right.
That I satisfied that craving, and now it's time for me to move on. And so that's just a discipline. That's just a discipline that you just have to practice.
Yeah, because they say trying to get off sugar is worse than trying to recover from drugs.
Wow.
Right. It is.
I truly believe that. It's a serious thing. But what you did for me, Aunt Ouida, when we were going through my program, you told me that I could make like some kind of peanut butter balls, where I would take peanut butter,
protein balls.
The protein balls. I took some regular peanut butter and some oats, and I froze them. And every time I had a sugar attack, I would just take that protein ball, and it really calmed my sugar intake down. And I still do that till this day.
Wow.
Oh wow. Yeah. See that you can do the brownies the same way, the protein brownies.
Oh really?
Where you will take your protein powder, and you take, of course, natural peanut butter, and you mix it together. I'm trying to think of what else that you put in there.
I think it was honey, right?
And then you just kind of, I think maybe it was honey, and then you bake it. But it's agave. No, you put agave in it, and it. So yeah, there are essential oils are another tool that you can use too. Peppermint, it helps with the digestive system, and so sometimes when you're infusing and peppermint in your environment, it can also reset some of the brain chemicals with the craving of sugar.
Oh Lord, let me go stock up right now. Let me. I'll see y'all in a few minutes.
For every herb shot in here.
Oh my husband's gonna come home like, what is going on? It's gonna be nothing but peppermint all over the place.
Yes, this has truly been a great, informative episode. And I pray and I hope that all of our listeners out there have something that they have taken away from it. But if you were to give a takeaway, what would it be, Aunt Ouida?
The takeaway would be, first, for women to really put self-care and put yourself first. God. And the next thing, as far as health is concerned, really hone in on your gut. Your gut is everything. Cleaning up your gut. If you need help with it, please contact me. I do complimentary assessments, and we get good notes down at that particular time. But your gut is very, very important to your immune system. It speaks to your brain, so it's great for mood regulation, weight loss, all of that. And then the third takeaway I would put out there is, in stressful times, take some time away for yourself. That's what my retreats are about. Don't let life get so busy that you're not able to take time to just sit and be with you, because you are the most beautiful person for you. And so that's what I would leave for everyone.
Yes.
Absolutely. Great.
What an episode.
Let me tell you.
This has been awesome.
This is amazing, and I absolutely appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now you're going to have me calling her Aunt Ouida.
Yeah, that's my Aunt Ouida. Aunt Ouida all day long.
You can all call me Aunt Ouida.
I'm telling you, it's just so inspiring to see her. If you have not watched her on social media, please do so, to see an African-American woman at 50 plus do ice skating. I was like,
amazing.
I want to learn.
Yeah.
But yes, it's just a beautiful
Well, come
thing.
on out to the ice. I was a competitive figure skater for 11 years in my childhood. So I went back to it after 35 years. Go back to the things you love.
Mm-hmm.
Bring out the inner child.
Yes, amazing. So much information. I can't wait to just go back and listen to all of this over and over again because it's amazing. And I will be reaching out to you. So no worries. No worries. Thank you for coming on. Any last words, Mo?
Yes.
Coach Mo?
I'm just excited for our listeners to hear what Aunt Ouida had to say, because we as women, period, need to take more better care of ourselves. And just like she said, be still and just listen to what not just the energy or the earth has to say, but what your body has to say.
Yes.
So that's my take.
Yes. And remember, listeners, aim for balance, mind, body, and spirit. And we'll talk to you next time in the next episode of the VOC podcast. Woo! Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you.
Love you.
What an amazing episode with Coach Ouida. All of her contact information will be in the description box below. Women, do yourself a favor. Reach out to her. You can only benefit from it. Talk to you soon.